Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice, brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Brandon, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. And attorney Ron Irwin's new book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, and author Larry Buford's book to the future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green, who says, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest's latest movie is called Goliath in Season 3. She was born right here in Los Angeles. She grew up in the city of Glendale. So far, she has earned 18 IMDb actor credits and has a great acting career ahead. Please welcome, let me get this right, Marisa Echeverria.
Thank you for having me, Ron.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta work.
Echeverria.
Yes. And what was it like growing up here in California as it pertains to becoming an actress?
Oh, it was wonderful. I didn't have my sights set on acting at that time. No one in my family has ever acted.
Mm-hmm. They're proud of you, aren't you?
Right. My grandfather was a violinist, a mariachi violinist, yes, and so there was music, and I was always a singer, so that's kind of how I started, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I hear that you lived next door to a well-known Hollywood voice.
I did.
Who dat?
Yes, Clarence Nash was his name, and he was the voice of the original Donald Duck.
Yes.
And we called him Grandpa Ducky. And my sister and I used to go over to his house, and he'd bring out his big Donald Duck puppet and talk to us. And I remember one time he came to my show and tell in preschool for my birthday, I think. Yeah, it was he was wonderful.
And when you look back at those memories, those are the people who were the pioneers who started Hollywood for what it is.
It's true. And I had an internship. At one point, I had an internship in the old animation building on the Disney lot.
Oh, that was good.
And there were all of the cells, the Mickey Mouse. And it was incredible. Yeah, and a kind of full circle moment for me.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Disney in his grave right now, he could look around and say, look what I started.
It's true.
Now everybody's doing it.
It's true.
I started, everybody's doing it now, man. You also had a chance to sing with several well-known music luminaries, including Mr. Barry Manilow.
That's true.
I started to say Mr. Barry White, Mr. Barry Manilow.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Indeed. Patty Austin, and Michael McDonald, and many, many others.
Yes.
That was fun, huh?
It was incredible. That was my education growing up, honestly, because I was in a children's choir, and then a small group of us would get to do certain things in Hollywood all around town, really. And it was everything from we sang on a Doc Severinsen Christmas album, and we sang on film scores, and we did operas. A few of us got to do some operas downtown.
Yes.
So,
Marisa, I must tell you, when I first saw this, I went wild. I was doing my research for the show, and here I understand you got your SAG card, Screen Actors Guild, singing, but not acting.
it's true.
Please explain.
So, as part of this choir, a small group of us got to sing on the feature film Hero, which was a Gina Davis, Dustin Hoffman movie. And Luther Vandross was singing the title song. Yes, Luther Vandross. Luther. And a small group of us got to sing backup on this song, and we went to a sound studio, and it was like a little party with Luther Vandross. It was incredible.
God bless him.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
The song was called Heart of a Hero, and I still, kind of viscerally remember the joy that he brought to that room and how we all just kind of rode the wave.
Wow. I have an expression that I talk about for my students: education, exposure, and experience, the 3 E's. And I see you have the education, you have a master's in FA, you've been around and you've had these experiences all along. These are what make a person the good person that they are.
Oh,
God bless you.
Thank
bless you.
you.
So you got your career off with a great start. Okay, would you say you had a good start starting off your career?
I did. At the time I didn't realize how it would impact my later acting career, and only now is it really synthesizing for me all of the past experiences that I had in that other area. So
exactly. But then you got a super big break when a famous female director and film composer cast you in an original musical.
Yes. I was in college, and Elizabeth Swados came to direct. Yes. And Liz had done Runaways on Broadway and was well known in the public theater and the experimental theater Mabu Mines, I believe, and she was an incredible force. And from the moment that I was in a rehearsal room with her, actually the audition for that first piece I did with her was incredibly memorable and sort of freed something in me. And she asked me to then come with her and do a show in New York at the Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Wow.
And I took some time off from school, and I did it. I took the leap. And that was a really huge few months in my life. Yeah.
A musical.
Yeah.
Standing
An
up on
opera.
stage.
It wound up, it was more of an opera called Missionaries. Yeah. And it was a beautiful, beautiful piece about the nuns that gave their lives defending the people in El Salvador.
Yes.
So it was a beautiful, strong statement.
Anyone who knows this show and watches it says Ron Brewington has a bone to pick with actors who don't get up on that stage and do some stage work.
Oh, well, that's my background. So.
Right. I noticed you've been there.
Yeah. Well, my mom raised me on MGM musicals, you know, and it was Fred Astaire and then and Ginger Rogers and all the MGM musicals. So theater, even though I grew up in Los Angeles, it was always sort of based in theater for me to a certain degree. And, you know, comedians like Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball and people that I just kind of got through my parents' experience that then I fell in love with. And it always felt theatrical. And so I did. I took off to go to New York, and that was the roots of it for me.
When you first got to New York, how did you like it?
Oh, I was swept away. I still feel, you know, I lived there for many years. Now I'm in Los Angeles, but every time I go to New York, it's the energy there, the people, and it's incredible.
I was born and raised there.
Were you?
Yes.
Oh,
Uptown
lucky
Harlem.
you. Yeah.
Up in Harlem, had a great time up there.
Yeah.
Went to school, did everything. Yeah, had a great time. New
Yeah.
York is the Great White Way. You see so much. We'd ride the train, look at the bus. That transportation better than they have in this town.
Yep.
Taxi cabs.
Oh, absolutely.
The hot dog with sauerkraut and mustard.
Gotta love it.
The pretzel.
The pretzel, I was going to say. Gotta
With
talk about
mustard.
the pretzels now.
With mustard?
Yes. Oh,
Indeed.
absolutely.
Indeed. Now, you finished college and later got an MFA at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts.
I did the graduate acting program at NYU.
Yes. Super around the world. I understand the standards are very high to get in.
They are, yes. I auditioned for Zelda Fichandler, who was the head at the time, the head of the arena stage. She was absolutely huge for developing the regional theater system in this country, in D.C., the arena, and then leading our program. So I was really lucky to have that overlap with her.
Good. 2004, you got your first IMDb actor credit for a role in the TV series Strong Medicine.
Yes.
Remember that role?
I do. It was an incredible time because I had graduated from NYU and I had gotten an agent, and this was the first show that I had auditioned for in Los Angeles with the agent, and I booked it. And I went into the audition thinking, well,
You
this is
booked
fun.
it?
I booked it. And I just, I had no expectations, which is always the best way to go anyway as an actor. So I walked in the room kind of very free, thinking, well, I'll never get the first one. And then I booked it. And so my agent called me and said, this is a career with a lot of ups and downs, but always remember this. This is a sweet moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet moments like that need to come all the time.
Yes.
Yes. Sweet moment. I'll put that in here, definitely. And over the next couple of years, you got more experience as an actress. Who are some of your favorite actresses at that time?
Oh, well, I've already talked about historically the comedians,
Yes.
Carol Burnett, that I always go back to, and the theater actors, you know, the people that I looked at. Obviously, Meryl Streep is among them, and there were people I grew up watching, Chita Rivera on stage, Rita Moreno, Sonia Braga. I remember being very impressed by her next to Edward James Olmos, and yeah, lots of wonderful actors that I feel like inspired me. Yeah, it was hard at that time to find Mexican American actors that I felt that I really identified with, but I would pick them out and hold them close to my heart.
Speaking of that, what's your feelings about the challenges to Hispanics here in Hollywood?
Well, I think there's a lot of work we have yet to do, have ahead of us. We're over 18% of the population, and we're 3% of the speaking roles. So I think that, it takes all of us kind of trying to figure out what small thing can I do to step it up.
Yes.
And for me, I I want to continue creating and making work, not just acting, but producing and directing and finding a way to have our voices out there, because there is a wide range of experience in the Latinx community.
And they want to see somebody up there that looks like them.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted,
Yeah.
you know.
This is America. We're supposed to have to do it that way.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. 2008, you did Canterbury's Law.
I did.
And ER.
Yes. Yes.
Did 2 movies that year.
I did 2 shows that year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and ER, I had the wonderful privilege of acting opposite Angela Bassett, who was absolutely a hero of mine, you know, and theater background, incredible pedigree, and incredible vivacity on screen and on stage, and strength. It was wonderful to be opposite her on set.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When you're on the set, what's your favorite part of the set that you like to be?
Oh, I like that every new show I go on has a different vibe and rhythm.
Indeed.
You know, and I'm very used to the rhythm now of the makeup and hair trailer, and then on to rehearsal, and then each new thing, and how quickly it can go, and then how it can pause. But I think just feeling out the differences of each show and where the actors are and what they're bringing. And I like that. I'm an actor that likes new things.
Yes.
I think I got into it because of that sense of adventure.
Yes.
Both in the character and in the experience. So I love collaboration in that way, and I like
Gotcha.
to key in.
I see you didn't mention the area where the food is at.
Oh, should I have said craft services?
Craft services.
I do. I pocket something for my kids at craft services.
Oh, it's
Gummy
a fun
bears.
Place. Yes, nice place to be. Nice place to be. 2010, you did Southland. But 2015, something happened. Body and Blood. But you got a taste of, you tell us, of that movie. Of that.
Body and Blood?
Yes, ma'am.
Of directing, yes.
Directing.
Well, yes. And I had directed on stage quite a bit.
Okay.
Ever since I was young, I was very drawn to directing. But this was my first experience with a short film. And it was really, really wonderful. I got to work with 2 actor friends of mine who asked me to come in and direct. And also, I had just had my kids. It was a wonderful way to... I don't think I was ready to step fully back into acting, but this came along and felt like the right kind of thing for me. So I did this, and I also directed a theater piece at the same time that went to New York for a short run. And yeah, it was a really rewarding time.
How did it feel saying action?
You know, I'm one of those... I hear that Clint Eastwood says, go ahead. Like, he doesn't even say action. And I think that's so I don't even know if I say action. I just kind of, are we ready? All right, take it away.
Yes.
You know, just
Unique.
so that, because there is something kind of,
Yes.
you got to figure out the way to get your actors into it.
Let's see. 2 kids, a husband, and a career. Lady, you got a lot on your plate.
I like it, though. I think I'm at my best when I'm juggling.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then here comes 219. The name of the movie, Goliath Season 3.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what you guys are pushing right now. That's a great movie.
yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to be seeing it next week.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna be
Amazon
looking for
Prime,
you.
Yep.
Okay.
You can catch it all. They dropped it all at once. And it's a wonderful season. I've been a fan of the show from the very first season.
Okay.
But this season I think is really special. A lot of really fantastic actors on it, and it's a great story.
Got you. Can you tell us your favorite scene in the movie?
I am partial to the first scene that I have with Nina Arianda when I encounter her on the road. We had a really lovely chemistry. She's also an NYU acting graduate, so I think we share a language, in that way. And I just felt like a really easy chemistry with her right away. So that was really fun, and I get to, to like throw something at a car, so that was really
Throw
fun
something
too.
at a car.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look for that.
A little spark of violence inside me.
Now, you play the role of Violet Webster.
I do, yes.
Tell us about her, please.
Violet was a really inspiring character for me from the get-go, because she is absolutely someone who digs deep in her community. She's there for her people, and she's a fighter, and she's willing to stand up and stick her neck out if needed.
Yes.
And that's what she does in this season. So I think we all, Goliath, the show, is about whether you feel small, you can use your voice
Right.
to gain power and to be strong
Yes.
for yourself and for others. And Billy Bob Thornton's character
Billy
embodies
Bob.
that.
Yes.
And Violet embodies that as well. So it was a real pleasure.
I saw the trailer. Oh, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough.
I know.
I mean, whoa.
Yeah, there's some dark forces.
Ooh, whoa.
For sure.
I ain't going to give it away. There was some good stuff in there. Well, and then there was also something, as you go through the credits, I see the name of David E. Kelly.
For sure, yeah.
The creator, the writer, the producer. His hand, whenever he puts his hand on something, it
It's
turns
gold,
to
right?
gold.
Yeah.
God, I mean, when I look at Boston Legal, Boston Public, The Practice, L.A. Law, Ally McBeal.
Don't forget Doogie Howser. Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser. Got it on the list here. He has put out a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when they see your resume and his name is on your resume, wow, that's interesting. Interesting. Speaking of projects, what's your next project?
I have an episode of Shameless coming up that I guest starred in, which is in its
Okay.
10th season.
Okay.
Incredibly. So that's going to be coming up soon.
Wow. Can you give us a little synopsis of the show?
It's top secret,
Oh,
Ron.
top
it's
secret.
top secret.
Don't tell nobody.
But, Shameless is always
Shameless,
very
yes.
fun and
Excuse me.
and funny.
Wow. How about Beyond Therapy? Is that another movie that you might be
I
working
did
on?
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did that a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I noticed that you like to do TV series.
I do.
Why is that?
I think, I feel like I love a film, but TV affords you the opportunity to sort of step in and take on a character for a while at times, and Goliath was a wonderful arc in that way. I got the continuity of a film because the director, Larry Trilling, who's phenomenal, was the director of every episode this season. He's the
Yes.
showrunner. And so you get the continuity, but there's something special about, television that you're able to reach so many people and a lot of wonderful actors are doing television
Yes,
now.
like you. Yes. A lot of them.
Thank you.
And I like the competition. I know you do amongst each other. Where you can see A-listers, B-listers, C-listers.
Sure,
Work
absolutely.
with them, learn something.
And
from
there's so much content now. There's
Yes.
really a lot of opportunity, and that's exciting too.
them. And of course, you have to do the big A, the audition.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your philosophy about the big A?
What do you mean? My philosophy.
Because I see people that go in there and I hit it. I know I got it, and they didn't get the role.
Oh, sure.
then you get
You
mad.
can feel.
Yeah.
My philosophy is that I see everything as I'm going to pour myself into this. And it's not up to me. Those other steps aren't up to me. But I'm going to pour myself into this, and I'm going to give it what I can give it, the best that I can do, and the angle that I can give this character. With Violet, I felt like she was really strong and had a lot of heart, and I tried to make that clear, And I think that from then on, you just kind of release. I went in the room with Violet, and I felt it had been given to me, I think, just the day before, and it was 14 pages, so it was a lot of material. But I jumped into it. I really found a lot of joy in doing it. And then you kind of go in, and it felt in the room, it did feel a little bit magical.
Yes.
And I walked out a little bit lighter. I floated kind of out of the room. And then I forgot about it. And 2 weeks later, I thought, I never really heard anything about that. But the tape had made the rounds,
Gotcha.
And so it was only then, the next day, that I got the call. But you kind of let it go and
never
let
know.
it come back
Yes.
if it's yours.
Remember that first time that you walked into a theater and saw yourself up on that screen?
Oh, sure.
Remember that? Now, do you feel the same way when you walk in there now than you did when you first did it the first time?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. That's me up there. The kids, Mom, that's Mommy.
I have friends that say, "Why are you being so unlike you?"
I'm an actress.
But they're not actors.
in character. Yes.
I don't recognize you.
What other advice would you give someone who wants to get into this business? They always want to be an actress. It's their fun thing. What do you tell them to do?
I say just believe in yourself, Find one other person. I had Liz, find one other person that believes in you and sees you that way, and then dig deep. It's an evolving process, and you will change, and it will change you, and the process, you know, what's out there will change.
Yes.
But be willing to embrace that and keep going and keep finding the new thing, the next thing. Whether it's building something for yourself, working with a friend, auditions, theater, TV, film, you know, you just have to keep at it. And there's no shame in having another job and being an actor. There's no shame in balancing your life 360. I think that I feel really grateful that I've been able to do that and stay in it, you know, and it's an ebb and flow.
Yes, and having a good attitude is one of the necessities of this business.
Sure, for me.
Definitely. I ask people this crazy question. You know, back in the old days, a lady was working as a waitress in a restaurant, and a director saw her, or a producer saw her. I want her.
Right.
Is that still happening?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. No.
I always wonder
well,
about
now
that.
we have all these platforms where people can put their things out there.
Yes.
You know, you can shoot your own film and put it out there, and maybe someone sees that and
Yes.
says, "Oh, there's something there." So it's different, but I feel like you have to travel outside yourself.
Oh, yes, no question
You know.
about it. Right. How do you see yourself in the next few years?
I want to continue with this fantastic run and this, you know, television work, film work.
Yes.
And I'd like to continue to produce and direct my own projects as well. I have a few things I'd really like to get out there in the world. And
Yes.
I'm looking to do that.
You know, and people don't understand, sometimes in your contract, I understand, but that you ladies and men have to do what we call junkets and interviews and different things
Sure.
like this. Go to a award show. You went to a recent award show?
I did. I
Yes.
was at a wonderful film festival this past weekend.
Yes. How did that work out?
It was great. It
Yeah.
was a terrific shorts festival. There's so much, you know, that you can learn when you watch new material. And
Yes.
This was a wonderful shorts festival in downtown LA for a short that was great called Motel Gravy.
Yes.
I understand you have a guest, the director
Of?
that's coming up, of Motel Gravy.
So they tell me. So they tell me. Is he here yet? I don't know if he's here yet. Yeah, that gentleman, he should be coming
So
on.
yeah, I went to that.
Yes.
that
I mean,
festival.
young ladies, they like to see that here you are the queen. You're signing autographs, people taking your picture. You're here, you're there, you're going to Cannes Film Festival. It's a great life.
Sure.
But it's
sure.
a lot of hard work, too.
Sure, it's everything.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a privilege.
Amen.
And a pleasure, and I feel, you know, it's a balance. You want to give back and you want to do what makes you shine so other people have license to shine.
Yes.
So I'm just going to keep on doing it and growing.
Okay. I know your family is proud of you.
Thank you. I hope so.
Oh, they're very proud of you. Said, look at my daughter. Look at all that work, all those school, all that work she did. It all worked out. Can I have your right finger, man, please? Your right
My
finger?
right finger?
Your hand.
My
finger.
hand, my right hand.
Can you turn it over for a second? This is my good luck charm that I give people in this business.
Thank you, Ron.
I believe this has your name
Oh,
on it.
look
I
at
believe
that.
it has your name on it.
does.
Right
you.
time, right time.
It's all in the timing.
All the time. Marisa, is there anything else that you'd like to tell us?
I'd just like to thank you for having me, Ron.
Oh, yes,
Thank
of course.
you.
Thank that lovely publicist that you have. She's always up doing it and doing it. Good publicity firm you got there to take good care of you.
Thank you, Espada.
Yes,
You're
indeed.
great.
Well, again, thank you very, very much for
Thank
coming
you,
by.
Ron.
Good luck to you.
Nice talking to you.
Can't wait to see you on the next one.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. Thank you. I'm Ron Brewington. This is The Actor's Choice. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography as an Act in Art is proud to offer you a $100 discount off of any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. Oh, and by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku Style, Passion, Heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. The book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half-century ago. Now, this experience produced within him a deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future. Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. That's a new book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon, so please get yourself a copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Thanks, Carla. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, call 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9675. And finally, if you have a product, a service, or an upcoming program that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. My next guest is a filmmaker. He has a tremendous background, when you read it, ladies and gentlemen, that he uses to create some of the best available TV shows and movies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Christopher Mitchell. Christopher, I went and read your stuff, man. Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, I thought I knew something about all the little intricacies, but you put your hand on it. Now, I'm going to start. This is going to be a school for people today. They're going to learn something today.
Awesome.
Explain, if you will, the 5 job titles that you are qualified to do. Can I please go
Yeah,
ahead.
absolutely.
Go ahead.
So I've done editing, cinematography, directing, writing, G&E.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
That's a lot to be qualified for. Okay, editing, you got 3 credits. Director, 12 credits. Writer, 2 credits. Cinematographer, 16 credits. And you said C&E, camera and electrical department.
Yeah.
Wow. What does that mean?
It means I started at the bottom and just kind of worked my way through it.
Okay.
And I've loved every second of it. And it's been a pleasure just doing several different jobs and learning which ones I like best.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
have a little bit of knowledge of everybody's department.
Okay. So I'll put you on the floor. Which one do you like best?
I like shooting best, but I also like directing best. So
Okay.
I love doing both. If there are some shows where I do both jobs, and I love that.
Oh, my goodness. Now, you have to work sometime with celluloid or digital. Which one do you like better?
I love film. I mean, I absolutely love it. Every once in a while, I get to sneak it in to some of these shows. You know, maybe some of the opening credits might be 16 millimeter on a Bolex, but usually it's 99% digital these days.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure I got this straight. Why did you get into this business?
You know, my father, he was a photographer for Tennessee Valley Authority. It's a federal power company in Tennessee, and he did photography for 27 years there, so all because of him.
I see. Pops had it for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in this business, very competitive, what do you have to do to get a job?
I think it takes a lot of networking, but also taking those jobs and showing that you want to be there. You know, becoming a PA, showing the crew that you're there, that you want to be there, and you don't want to do anything else.
PA stands for?
A production assistant.
Okay.
So bringing people water, but you get to see all the departments.
Right.
You know, you get to be a little bit in electric, you get to maybe in hair and makeup and see what's going on there, and really gives you an opportunity to decide which direction you want to go.
Okay. Now, you said you came from Tennessee?
Yes.
Chattanooga?
I was born in Chattanooga
Okay.
and live in Knoxville.
Knoxville. Great state.
Yeah, I love
Great
it.
state, yeah. I was in the Navy and they sent me down to Memphis, Tennessee, and had a good place down there. Really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. So when did you make that journey? What made you make that journey from Tennessee to here?
Well, we came here to do the Downtown LA Film Festival.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we have a show called Motel Gravy. That's an episodic. That's our LA premiere. So we came out to experience that, and it's been awesome. We've loved every second of it.
We'll talk more about that. Now, sometimes as I go through what you have been done over these years, I notice that you've worked two or more jobs at the same time.
Yeah, that seems to be it. I love doing that because it doesn't get stale. You know, you can take a little bit from one show, like that worked really well here. Maybe we can apply it for this show. So a lot of times I'm shooting 1 week, one series, and the very next week I'm shooting another, and we're just flipping back and forth every week to a different show.
How many years have you been in the business so far?
So I say professionally, 2005 is when my first paid directing and shooting job, and it was for Biography Channel.
How much change have you seen in this business over the years, those short period of time?
A lot.
In a short period of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, we were doing stuff back in the day with Peyton Manning, and it was all 16 millimeter, and that was our only option. And then to see, like, the Varicam come and just the Red camera, it's crazy how you can shoot on your phone. Yes. You know, some of our scenes in our crime shows, I use an app that's a VHS app, and it looks like a fake crime scene, interrogation room video. I'll just hold it on a ladder, and it works great. You know, we use it all the time.
All the time. Is there any specific educational requirements that you have to get into this business?
I think experience is the biggest thing. You know, getting on set, seeing what a set is like. I did not go to a film school.
Okay.
After high school, I moved to Brooklyn, New York, and followed a friend up there.
Brookline, New York.
So he was up there, and he had a production company doing Scott Colthorpe, who's like a mentor to me, and we just did a lot of commercial work together, and I learned a lot from him. So I think it's a lot of just finding those people you like to work with and just work, work, and work.
As you know, America is divided into 4 sections, north, south, east, and west. What's the best part for you?
You know,
professionally and personally.
I love the South because I'm from the South, but I also love the Northeast, and I love the West. I love it all because everywhere I go, there's something interesting, and you meet someone interesting. You know, I'll go to Republican City, Nebraska, a town of 98 people, and I've made good friends in Republican City, Nebraska. I mean, it's just everywhere I go, I love to talk to people.
Excellent, excellent. Now, as I mentioned to you in the green room, there was a show recently at Paramount Studios. Those shows are beautiful. Oh yeah. It shows you what you'd like to have.
Yeah.
Versus what you got.
Absolutely.
Versus what you got. I mean, they use Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
it's
that.
It's unbelievable the things they do these days.
Wow. But to get that, we as the audience, we get spoiled.
Yeah.
We see a movie with all the high technology, 3D and all that good stuff. Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. But I want something better. Yeah. And then now the pressure is on you guys in the industry to provide for me what I wanted.
Oh, I mean, it's nonstop, you know. And a lot of our stuff is sometimes we don't have the money to get the biggest, best equipment, but we find a way. You know, we find a way. How can we make it seem that it is that Mercedes-Benz driving down the road? What can we do to emulate that? And that's, to me, is the real fun part of doing these shows.
They've got a commercial from, speaking of Mercedes, where they actually have a truck, and here's the actual vehicle. They actually take the engine out, put a new engine in. I went, wow, what are they going to do next? What are they going to do next? Wow. Because back in my day, we didn't have that kind of stuff. Yeah. In fact, we had a black and white TV. I'm not telling my age, but we had a black and white TV that big. Yeah. And you were lucky to have something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Nowadays, it's in all kind of technology. Delicious.
Just look at your phone.
Thank you. Look at your phone. Right. What would you do without a cell? Back in my time, we used to have a telephone on every corner. Or you had a telephone in your house. Yeah. Now you got a cell phone, and God bless you if you lose it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
You're in real trouble. Okay, a shoot. You use the word shoot. Take us on a shoot. Now you've gotten a job, and you're told what your job is going to be. You're working with a team. Take it from there.
So if it's a new series, the first thing we get is, we talk to the showrunner. What are they thinking? What's kind of their vision? And then my next part is collecting images and creating boards. Like, well, what about this? Stealing from different movies and TV shows that we like in the style, and kind of tell a story with that, just to give the crew, the showrunner, the network an idea of like, it's going to look like this. It's going to be dark. It's going to be rainy. That's kind of what we're looking for. And then after that, it's just creating the script around the visuals. And then my biggest thing is shot listing. I love the shot list. I mean, every single shot I do is written down. So you never lose. When you're on set, things go wrong. And if it goes wrong, it's okay because you've got a list. That's really the gist of it. It's just constantly adapting.
And planning.
Planning and adapting. Because if you don't plan, you can't really adapt.
Exactly. I learned something in the Navy. We used to call it the 7 Ps. Mm-hmm. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
Absolutely. I completely believe in that.
Oh, that planning. Okay. Then you have to go to a location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our locations, the way we work, it varies. Like, we have access sometimes to county prisons. So we've shot, our jail. We've shot in the county jails where it's an active jail. There's prisoners walking around and doing their thing, which is an interesting environment to work in. And then sometimes it's a home, sometimes it's a factory, sometimes it's a river, and every location has its own challenges, and mostly it's you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
But you love it.
You love it. I mean, here in Los Angeles, you see location shots all the time. Mm-hmm. You always see the police officer out there.
Yeah.
You always see the generator putting the power out there.
Yeah.
And you always see but we never get a chance unless it's an outside. It's always a shot shooting inside the house. We don't see that till later. Yeah. Now go back for just a sec to celluloid compared to digital. Celluloid, you'd have to do what they call the dailies. Mm-hmm. Do you still have to do dailies?
No, because most of the stuff I'm shooting with it now is for the openers of the show, and it's more like B-roll. Maybe we go out there with the like a true crime show I work on, ATL Homicide, that I direct. Like, we would take the detectives out into Atlanta, into a neighborhood, and just shoot them interacting with people that they know or don't know, and walking down the streets in the evening, driving the car. It's just that pretty opening show. It's the book cover of the film.
Got you.
So
money is a very big. Sometimes it can be a problem, but sometimes it's necessary. Mm-hmm. You guys see a lot of money, don't you?
Yeah, and I mean, our budgets are okay, but what's great about it is it keeps us creative.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, we can't afford that, but how can we make that happen? And that's what gets you excited on set. It gets everybody will come together. Our gaffer, Steve Spallone, who's great. I mean, he's amazing. He was the best boy on Cape Fear and Last of the Mohicans. But we came up with this idea of how can we practically reflect the reflection of an Atlanta skyline into glass that we don't really have. So it was coming together. Everybody came together, bringing LED lights, cutting out the buildings, and making this reflection. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, that is, I feel like, sometimes less money's better because you become so much more creative.
I like the vernacular, use B-roll, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
People don't understand it. Within a specific industry, there are certain words that only people in that industry, it's unique to them and only to them.
Yeah.
Indeed. Police security trailers, to get trailers for the actors. You got a place to stay?
Yeah, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll secure maybe even a house next door.
Right.
So a lot of times we don't do trailers, especially if we're in the downtown area. We'll just kind of, or sometimes it's in the same location that we're in. Just a certain house that if it's a large house that has a big basement and a place to people to hang out, now that's talent holding. And with our officers, we have a great relationship with the local police department and sheriff's department. So they even do acting roles for us. So when the cops are coming through the door, those are real cops coming through the door.
Yes. With badges and guns.
Yeah.
Indeed. Time of day according to the script.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I love to do is, because of the shows that we do a lot of true crime, so a lot of bad things happen at night. So a lot of night work. Mm-hmm. But we do a lot of, we've become really good at blacking out. So creating tents outside of windows and setting lights up to make it feel like it's nighttime inside, but we're actually working in the day. Just because no one likes to work from 8 p.m. till 8 a.m.
No. Now, if you pay me for it, that's a different subject. Wardrobe, hair, makeup, things like that.
Yeah. So That stuff is so important, and you don't really realize how important it is because you're so used to seeing it done well, you know. And we have really great makeup and hair and wardrobe. Ann Thomas, who's our wardrobe stylist on ATL Homicide, works with our real detectives and what they wear to try to imitate that onto our characters. So she has a lot of input, and she has to get things tailored, and you know she's finding pocket squares. I mean, and you got to keep up with what were they wearing yesterday, and is it set up in the story?
Yes,
You know, if they're wearing the same thing, it's supposed to be 3 days later, but something went wrong. You know, but that doesn't happen very often.
How do they shoot movies from beginning into end? Right A followed B, C, and C, or do they do it out of sequence?
Always, I mean, I would love to shoot it in sequence, but 99% of the time it's out of sequence. You know, it's just it's a challenge in its own right. You know, but you can do it.
Okay. Christopher, use of explosive, use of animals, use of weapons.
Yeah. So that's a big one. I mean, the biggest thing for everybody is just remember you want someone who's trained in it to be there. You know, don't try to ever do that stuff on your own, you know. It's a challenging thing. I mean, with, you know, more of explosives, we haven't really had a lot for it. We've done fires, you know, burned cars, and that's in its own strange world too, you know, depending. There's all so many rules of like, and every county is different. It's not even the state, it's every county is different. So you got to really know, okay, in Knox County, okay, you can't burn a car. Okay, in our next county over in Blount County, we can burn a car. So it's just, you really need that expert to guide you through all that. And then, you know, with firearms, it's very important to even, we use airsoft guns. Yes. That's what we use to imitate, you know, live guns, is to even treat those as if they're real. You know, constantly just reminding yourself, like, this is not a toy, and reminding actors and everyone around you, like, we still treat these plastic guns as real firearms.
Okay. I'm always amazed. You go to a movie, you see a gun shootout, and you see there's a space right there, bam! You hear it, but then you see something right there in front of it. How do you do that?
A lot of that is through digital plugins. I mean, even today you can buy a lot of that stuff, and that's already pre-animated and bring into it. But I mean, the best way to do it is there's so many great tutorials now. If someone's wanting to get in that or learn for their own film how to do it, I mean, there's so much information with you know, how to make the slide move back and the shell, you know, eject, and all these things where you just see someone pull it and move their arm and nothing happens, and then when you see it in post, it's like, wow, it looks like they really shot that gun. You know, I mean, it's amazing what they can do.
Amazing. Magic. Sound and lighting.
I think sound is very important. I think people miss that.
Yes.
You know, I
they
think
give an award, Academy Award in that category too. Yes.
And I think it's with sound, I think it's a radio show first. You know, I always have to think about, I mean, you got to think about your location. You know, are you next to the airport? Are you next to the railroad? I mean, we've made mistakes where it's like, this is beautiful. We're going to do a crime scene here. And then there's literally a train backing up, connecting cars, pulling forward, backing up, connecting cars, pulling forward. So we just had to ADR everything. You know, I just record our dialogues later.
Right. ADR?
Yeah.
That stands for?
That's a good question. Let's see here. ADR. Let's see here. Audio, dialogue, or after dialogue recording. Is that right? Golly, I can't even know.
Okay.
That's sad, isn't it?
Okay. We'll move on. No problem.
But with lighting, you know,
yes.
With lighting, we do a lot. We do a lot of paintings. We'll look at paintings and decide, like, how do we want to follow this? You know, we look at Rembrandt and try to decide what we want to do. We try to keep our packages small, too, because we are a small crew and are moving quickly. And our gaffer is great. I mean, we're always building something. That's the great thing about lighting is you don't have to go to the store and be like, well, I'm going to buy all this, and that's what I need to use. A lot of stuff you can create on your own. Wow. You know.
Okay. Cannes Film festivals themselves, do you go to them sometime?
I have. We've always taken jobs from other companies, so this is kind of our stepping out into doing our own thing. And we've been to Nashville Film Festival, Orlando, now downtown LA Film Festival. And
you went this past weekend?
Yep, this past weekend. We premiered our episodic.
Okay.
And then we are going to First Glance in Philadelphia next week.
All right.
So, but it's been great. It's been encouraging, meeting a lot of great people, meeting great actors and directors, and seeing people's films that are inspiring. You know, oh, you did that with 5 people?
Mm-hmm.
you acted in it. I don't know how you did that. And that's just inspiring to me. It makes me want to go home and make a movie.
Go home and make a movie. Couple more. Best memory you've ever had since you've been in this business?
You know, that's a good question. There's just so many. You know, I mean, every time I'm on set, I create another great memory. You know, even if it's just people getting excited about an idea.
Okay.
You know, seeing the crew get excited.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's hard to tell. I guess my best memory would be meeting my wife on set.
Yes.
So
You said meeting your wife.
yeah, we met on a vampire film in Brooklyn. So I guess that's my best memory.
Got you. Okay. All right. Union membership.
So at least in the state of Tennessee, we're a right-to-work state.
Yes.
So unions, they do exist. You know, we have the 600, but it's something that doesn't seem to come up very often there.
Okay.
I am not a union member. It's not something I would not want to be a member of. I would love to be a member of a union. I think they're great.
Right.
But at least within our state, there's just not a lot of need for it in Tennessee.
Would you like to come and work out here in Hollywood?
I would. I think it'd be great. I mean, I think my biggest thing I love about here is that a lot of the creativity is here, but I would still love to shoot in Tennessee. That's where I love to shoot.
Got you. Because you got these big studios, big money, big actors, big.
Yeah.
Costs you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Taking time off salaries. What's an average salary for this kind of work?
It varies. I think it varies a lot. Depending if you're doing freelance work,
Okay.
work to hire, or, I think if you're a full-time staff, if you were like a director full-time staff, I'd say probably around 80,000 maybe
Okay.
within Tennessee, maybe a little more. And then with freelancing, it's a little better, but you do more for yourself. You gotta have health insurance.
Yes.
You've gotta take care of your own taxes, take care of your own retirement, which is a big deal. Like knowing those things, knowing what you're getting into.
Got you. Okay. Let's take you back to 2014. You had a movie out then called Snapped Killer Couples.
Yeah. So that was a TV series for Oxygen. I did the first through the 9. I did 9 seasons of it. So I directed
53 episodes.
Yeah, it was actually 80 episodes I directed.
Wow, that's great.
And then we did 10 episodes where I was in the field. So the first season, I was interviewing. I was going to prisons and interviewing people and police officers, just a little bit of everything.
Got you. 2016 to 2017, National Enquirer investigates.
Yeah, that was a fun one because it was all celebrity based. So we're
Yes.
trying to find actors who look like the celebrities that we're featuring. So that was an interesting experience.
Wow.
It's surprising that there are a lot of lookalikes out there.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
I know one guy who looks like Trump.
oh, really?
Good friend of mine, Pete Allman, looks just like him.
That's awesome.
And he goes places and people laugh at him and shake his hand and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. But I understand in this project you did Marilyn Monroe, O.J. Simpson, Whitney Houston, and Natalie Wood, Charlie Sheen, Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton, Charles Manson, and on and on and on.
Yeah. I think Marilyn Monroe and probably Charles Manson was probably my favorite to shoot because they're iconic,
Right.
Especially Marilyn, and just be able to play. We did a fun little trick where we took pantyhose and put it over the lens to give that real soft, timeless look on it.
Creative.
And it was great. I really enjoyed those episodes.
The look on your face, my friend, I think you like what you do.
Yeah, I do.
Putting it mildly.
I don't want to do anything else.
Got you. You also did Kitty Kelly Files in 2017.
Yeah, that was great. And Kitty Kelly was great. We went up there and shot with her for a couple days. And she was wonderful, and all her biographies are great, and the stories are really interesting. They're unauthorized documentaries or unauthorized bios, so it's always learning something new.
Okay. Storm of Suspicion. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a great one. I really loved that one because it was for the Weather Channel, and it was about how the weather affected crime scenes. So it was a big learning curve, but we figured out it was a great learning experience, having rain towers and creating snow. And, as it seems to always happen, we're creating snow in August in the South. So that was always difficult.
And one is recent that you talked about several times, Motor Gravy.
Yes. So
Gravy?
Motel Gravy.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's a great episodic. We've really enjoyed making it.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping that it will become a series.
Indeed. Indeed. And bless you for coming out here to LA. And I hope you had a good time out
I've
here.
had a great time.
Yes. Before you leave, we got to show one more picture. Would you show us that picture, please? Who is that lady right there?
So that's my wife, Deborah.
All right. All right.
So she's also the co-director of Motel Gravy,
Uh-huh.
and also she was the editor.
Uh-huh.
And we've also got to work together a lot lately, which we love.
Wow.
I mean, she did First 48 for 5 years, following
Wow.
active homicides.
Uh-huh.
Worked over 200 homicide cases. She
Wow.
did she did Storm Chasers, and she's done a lot of branded content. I mean, I can't do this without her.
I understand. Well, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And by the way, keep that right hand out here because I got two. There's one for you and one for your wife.
Oh, awesome! Thank you so much.
If she comes today, I know she's going to
She
be
will.
here.
I will
Please make
get
sure
these
she's
to her.
here. Please.
I will, absolutely.
We certainly appreciate it.
Awesome.
Oh, Christopher, thank you
Thank
very,
you.
very much. I hope that people got something out of what he talked about. A lot of vernacular, but this
Yeah.
is the real world.
Yeah.
And you can tell the world, you really enjoy what you're doing.
love it.
Indeed. Indeed. Again, thank you
All right.
very,
Thank you so
very, very
much.
much. And also want to give, I want to let people know special thanks to our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book of the Future, Times Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green. I want to especially thank our guest today, actress Marisa Echeverria, and of course you, filmmaker Christopher Mitchell. Special thanks to the Espada Public Relations and senior publicist Camille L. Cortez Lopez. I want to thank her very much for that, and want you to please come back again. I'd like to see what you're doing.
We'll be back. I can't wait.
Say that again. We'll be back, definitely.
Yes.
Of course, we want to thank our ever-growing audience. Without them, we wouldn't be nothing.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time. Take care.